Okay, getting a little bit better at that second weekend. Trying some new things here at the start. I'm Bill Bostic, back once again with Linglestown Gazette Live, and we'll sort of slate it like they do in the movies for March. It's the March 30th already. Where did March go? 2026. And this show, I think it's probably going to be right up there with the best ones. We're going to break down in our new news segment what Linglestown Gazette is all about and what it's not. And also, we're going to discuss how you, the viewers, the followers of Linglestown Gazette, over the last year plus since I came back into this, how you can be part of the movement to, the movement to help this thing keep going and also to expand into other communities here in the Central Dauphin School District. What we're calling community watchdogs. So we'll get all into all that kind of stuff and not too distant future. And I do want to give credit where credit is due to our title sponsor for 2026, Blue Line Pools and Outdoor Living. They're located on North Mountain Road in Linglestown, not too far away on the other side of the street from the Copper Pub, a little bit closer to the Turkey Hill is where they're located. But of course, they move out of there and do all their projects. We'll take a look at those in a few minutes. But first, what we're going to do is move into our weekly business spotlight and bring to the stage Mr. Kane Smeltz. Kane, welcome to Linglestown Gazette Live.
Thanks for having me, Bill.
It's a pleasure. You know, we've been affiliated in one form or another for a number of years. The last time I did this, the third time I tried this, you were very helpful with sponsorship and various things. And now you're back again to be on the business spotlight. So looking forward to it. You've been at this mortgage business, in the mortgage business for quite a while now. I would call you an expert, certainly in mortgages, but also the real estate world, buying and selling of real estate. Why don't you tell folks what you do and maybe how you differ from a bank in terms of the flexibility you have with what you offer?
Sure. So let's talk about this. If you need a bank account, which is a checking or savings account, go to a bank. Pretty simple. Okay. If you need a personal loan or a car loan, go to a credit union. That's the best option. If you have money to invest, for God's sake, go to an independent financial advisor. If you need an insurance policy, go to an independent insurance agent.
Okay.
And if you need a mortgage, which is a loan secured by real estate, go to an independent mortgage lender. And that's what Kane Mortgage is. So whether you're trying to buy a house or a business, because we do both residential and commercial,
okay,
or whether you're trying to refinance to lower your rate, lower your term, pull some equity out.
Yeah, and I did that with you. We refinanced for you.
Yeah. So what we do is we're simply not order takers. We listen to people, we hear what they want, and then we go over all their options, ideas, and solutions so they can make the best decision for themselves. Because you know a little bit, but you don't know my entire world that I live in every day. And what I know about broadcasting, fits in my hand, right? And that's it. So there's so much that you know. So when you need something, go to a professional, go to someone who lives it, who breathes it every day.
Isn't one of the advantages you bring that a bank doesn't? You have various lenders you can go to and day to day find the best situation for someone to borrow money.
Yes, yeah. And we actually have our own money. We have 2 warehouse lines, so we can fund the loan ourselves and then sell it thereafter. But yeah, so the difference between, or one of the things that we offer is we work on the wholesale side. So if you're familiar with retail and wholesale, we work on the wholesale side, and we're originating the loan. We know our different options that we can sell the loan off, and that gives us more flexibility. Even the biggest banks and credit unions, they're selling the loans too. People just aren't aware of it. They're just retaining the servicing rights. So a person continues to make payments to them. So they think that institution actually has the loan, and the majority of the time they don't.
Okay.
So we're doing the same thing, but we're not servicing the loan. But yeah, we have access to multiple investors depending on the program. So I'll give you one, for instance. There's only one local bank in the area that does reverse mortgages.
Okay.
And that's something that we do. And one of the reasons why other banks don't do reverse mortgages is because they're very time consuming.
Mm.
Well, we don't mind that because we see the big benefit that people can get from them. So we're willing to sit down with people and explain everything to them. It's the same thing with renovation and construction loans. There's very few banks and credit unions that want to get involved in them just because of the time commitment that you have to have for your loan officer, for your processor. So again, it's what we do. It's what we specialize in. All we're doing is real estate lending. We're not going to give you a car, a credit card. We don't want to invest your money, anything like that. So that's what we do. The other thing is when you come to us, if your need is for a real estate loan, you have the right place. If you go to a bank, you could talk to 5 different people, whether you need a home equity line of credit, whether you need a mortgage to buy a home, whether you need a small commercial loan, whether you need a large commercial loan for maybe if you're acquiring something for $2 or $3 million, or whether it's some type of specialty program. So they're going to ping pong you around to the right department. If you come to us, we're going to tell you about all the options. We're going to say, hey, I know you asked for this, but have you considered these other options?
Yeah, Kane, let's wrap up with this. At the end, we'll get you to put out all your information, contact information. But the one thing from the consumer side that I found in working with you, I had a family member who needed some help getting a mortgage. And she presented a unique situation, and you found, like, if she went to the bank, probably wouldn't have gotten one, but she worked with you and you found the way to finance her home. So that creativity, I think, comes in from time to time with working with someone like you and your staff who are very experienced at this. Oh, it looks like Kane is frozen.
Yeah. I heard that, but was there a question there?
Yeah, the question is about how you can take, let's say someone doesn't think they can qualify for a loan for whatever reason.
Yeah.
They can come to you and you'll take a look at their situation and maybe you'll find a unique way of making that happen. That's what happened with the family member in my case.
And there's programs that are popping up every week, different programs. Guidelines change. There's some niche things. And we have a pulse of that. We're staying on top of that because we really want to find a solution that works best for a person so they can be successful. There's many options for self-employed people. Banks and credit unions, they're just going to do the standard option, which looks at a person's bank statement. Hey, we can do that program too, but we have options where we can look at their 1099s to derive their income. We can get a professionally prepared profit and loss. We can derive their income from deposits into their business or their personal account. And sometimes it's just asking more and more details to get a way that a solution can be made for a person for them to be successful.
Yeah. So that's the advantage of going to a professional mortgage broker, and that's what Kane Mortgage is. And Kane, why don't we wrap up? I'll put a little image of your image you had online, anyways, and how can people get in touch with you?
The best way is to give us a call, 717-541-5132. We do have a lot of people in the local area that simply swing by and walk into our office. That's fine. We have a mobile-friendly online application. Shoot us an email, give us a text. If you're going to text, then you need to call us on our cell phone. I'll give you that number. That's 717-497-5800. 5021. But we just had somebody that called me yesterday at 12:30 on a Sunday.
Oh, wow.
And they said, hey, I went to your website and your website says you're available 24/7. So I gave a call. I want to put an offer in on rental property. I'm surprised you picked up. I go, yeah, I picked up. We always have a person that's on call.
Okay.
So whether it's me, whether it's somebody else in my office, but things pop up at the most inopportune time, and you need to be able to take care of them. And that's what we do.
That sounds great. And I'd like to have you come back another time and talk about the reverse mortgages, but it's great having you introduce yourself as the business spotlight this week. So thanks for your time, Kane.
Thanks for having me, Bill.
Absolutely. Talk to you later.
Take care, my friend.
Bye. And let's bring in Anthony Cristillo to keep the show rolling. Anthony.
Hey, Bill.
How are you doing, buddy?
Good. Yeah, I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't hear anything Kane was saying. I don't know if it was something on my end or what.
You can hear me though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good then.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. That's above my pay grade to figure that out.
Yeah, me too. So what's happening?
Well, I just have a dumb question for you to start out. Then you can tell us what's on your mind this evening to break the ice on this show. Yeah, I was at a state park over the weekend.
Okay.
And took a hike this morning, and my wife spotted a couple of ducks in the creek. It's called Mountain Creek.
Okay.
It was a male and a female swimming around in this little creek. And the thing, I don't know if it's mating season or what, but male and female are there.
Yeah, I don't know when the ducks mate. I'm not up on that.
All right. Well, this may not be a good question for you then. I'm just wondering why in the world of nature are the men or the male duck more beautiful than the female duck? What's the deal with that? Is it,
that's a dangerous question. I'm not going to answer it. I'm not answering it.
Oh,
I think we should probably move on.
I thought you'd come up with something creative. Okay.
No. Anything I'm going to say is going to get me in trouble.
So let's find out what now, over recent months you've made a transition. You got into. I know you were at some township meetings, Lower Paxton Township meetings, early in 2025. I know because I saw you on video.
Right.
And then there's been a law, and now you're back at it. Your interest is hyped up on this local government stuff.
Yeah, there's a couple items that I spoke on earlier in the year. I think at the second meeting I spoke about a resolution they passed and whatever, that was done. But the two main issues that I've been speaking on is the first thing was Pamela Thompson when she announced a month or two ago when she had a GoFundMe. She was talking about putting a GoFundMe page up for raising money for whatever reason, so they bumped her back down to really nothing. She has no duties, right? She's
no extra duties except showing up for the meetings. You're saying
shows up for the meeting, sits at the end of the table. The newest thing, and I'm going to stay on this. So if you're sick of hearing about it, I don't care because I'm going to stay on it. It's Charles Stewart and his nonprofit and the money, the stormwater fees that nonprofit owes to the township. I'm going to keep talking about it until it's resolved.
Okay.
So, there's like 2 or 3 people that try to, post whatever BS they want to post on Facebook saying that it's a race issue or that I'm against the kids that he's trying to help. This has nothing to do with him personally. His kids that he's helping, his nonprofit's a good thing. I don't really even know much about it other than what he put out there. But he was on a podcast the other day, and the host just did a lousy job, in my opinion, on not getting to the root of the issue. And
what's the root of the issue? Just so everyone knows, in your opinion.
Him and his nonprofit owe the money. He's made a point to speak on that prior to becoming a supervisor. He spoke about it for the past year and a half.
It's been a little over a year since he started coming. Occasionally he would show up.
And it's listed in the minutes. I mean, it first was 10 grand, and he's not telling the whole story on why he owes the money, but on a quit claim deed deal, the
Hmm.
debt follows the buyer. He got the property for a buck. He goes on this podcast, said that I have a personal vendetta against him and his family. I don't even know him and his family. All I know is he's a supervisor. He owes a ton of money, him and his nonprofit, to the township, and it needs to be paid. Simple as that. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't believe that anybody would have an issue with this.
Well, it has conflict of
Wouldn't have
interest.
an issue with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
And
filed an
that's
ethics
governed by the
complaint.
state government. They put out the guidelines for this. And
I filed the ethics complaint last
okay.
Monday, and we'll see what the state ethics board has to say on that side of things. But I'm not letting this go. This has to be handled one way or another. And he wants to say what's his nonprofit. Well, he's the nonprofit. That's clear. He's the chairman.
Well, yeah, he's the executive director, has made it very clear that he's running it, right? So,
Yes.
yeah.
And he's made it very clear that it's a debt that he's incurred. He's been speaking about it for over a year. The other issue is maybe, and he spoke about this. I brought up the issue about putting his son-in-law on the zoning board, who was
Right.
brand new to this township at the end of last year. And he thinks that I have an issue with his son-in-law. Again, I don't know this guy. All I know is they get rid of a 35-year board member, didn't renew his next 4-year term, David Dowling, who's been on that board for 35 years. So he's been through numerous supervisors during that 35 years, and they've always renewed him because of his experience and his knowledge and that on the zoning
Well,
board.
he's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer. So now, whether Stewart's son-in-law is experienced or not, it's a horrible look. Stewart's a brand new supervisor, and one of the first things he does is he puts his son-in-law on the zoning board to replace a guy that's been there 35 years.
Well,
Tell
the
me how
other
that
thing,
makes any
we've
sense.
mentioned this before. I think the new thing is the ethics complaint. You said you filed that.
Yeah.
But really nothing has changed. It's just a matter of waiting to see what happens there. But
And
yeah,
how about Pamela Thompson running around on a car not inspected since July of last year? And you see the Facebook, the township police picked it up and put out a statement on it. And I wasn't saying anything about the police not doing their job. I guess somebody else had made a post about it, and maybe they misunderstood what he wrote, referring to her running around
well,
without an inspection. But I mean, there's another prime example of just terrible leadership. I mean, she can't even
well,
get her car inspected. Come on. And you
yeah,
got this, and then you got this nut out there that she's claiming that we're picking on her for whatever reason. Not Pamela. I'm talking about a post that was made by this girl that follows your page, and it's just nonsense.
well,
It's really nonsense.
well, what the problem with it is, and let's wrap it up with this, Anthony, that given everything that's happened, and it's some things you haven't even mentioned, these are all stumbling blocks for this board to start working on things. And I think I'll be posting a little short video that talks where I'm talking about economic development, just as one thing. So that's the problem with some of this stuff. It's a stumbling block for them to move forward and get moving in a different direction, one where they're actually conducting business and addressing problems.
Yeah, I would love to see stuff get done. I mean, so far, really nothing's gotten done. I mean, John Campbell said that maybe June or July will have a plan as far as what they're going to do.
Yeah, and on that count, if someone doesn't agree with that, I think the thing to do is to go to the meetings and ask them, ask them about specific things like economic development.
Yeah.
And the reason I point this out, because the mall, I know based on Jeff Clare, a former economic development director who still lives in Lower Paxton Township, the last time he talked to the mall owner's burning $100,000 a month, keeping that thing open
Wow.
and operating the way it is. So how long is that going to last? And
Yeah, and I don't know what's going on with the trampoline park and the bowling alley they wanted to put in there, but I guess there's been a stop work order put in place.
there was some sort of electrical problem. That's all I
Yeah.
heard. So
Any questions? Any
let's see.
comments?
don't think so. No.
What
Let me
about
just-
this hack on your Facebook page? Where are you at with that?
Oh, okay. Well, had a little bit of a breakthrough today on the hacked Facebook page. Of course, I'm on my personal Facebook page here and also on YouTube. But finally, I was able to get through to a human being, Anthony. I had qualified for some benefits. I wasn't able to access them. And all of a sudden, I got through. I have a case number.
Oh, there you
So
go.
it hasn't been fully resolved yet, but at least I've made some positive progress. It's not the end of the world, because here's the thing. I have about 800 people following myself on my, I put William F. Bostic, but I was trying to get the thing back. This is Bill Bostic.
You're a popular guy. I mean, who wouldn't want to follow you? Anyway, you owe me a ton of money, don't you? I mean, based on the one comment that was made.
What's that? Which one?
That Ashley Martin or whatever her name is said that I get all my money out of the Gazette and the sponsorship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If I'm counting on making a living off of this, I'm in sad shape.
Well, like I said, I love running a true nonprofit. I mean, this is a classic nonprofit here.
This
There's
is
no
a real
profit to be had.
nonprofit. This nonprofit is really broke.
But tomorrow I'll buy you a cup of coffee. How about that?
No.
I'm just kidding. But here's
What else you got tonight?
Let's move on to high school sports. How about that?
All right. How about UConn last night in college?
What happened? I don't know.
UConn beat Duke.
Oh, it was Duke number 1 or 2 or something?
Yeah, they beat Duke.
That Arizona team, I did see some of that game. They look pretty tough.
Yeah. I think
You don't
I'm
like
for them.
You don't
I'm
like
for
them?
Arizona. No, I'm for Arizona.
You're Arizona. Oh, you have a good team there.
Yeah.
They were behind and came back in the second half. But I did want to relive for a few seconds the Rams championship. I mean, unbelievable. That was a major upset. If you don't know anything about high school basketball, when a South Central Pennsylvania team takes down a Philadelphia team, and to boot, a Philadelphia team that can recruit because it's a charter school.
How tall is that boy in the middle?
What's that?
How tall is he in the center there? That kid is
I think that's the freshman guard.
Oh my
Starling.
gosh.
Yeah, they're not hefty guys, but some of them are very tall. But as far as new information is that on Friday night there was a very competitive game. We talked about this last week. Hoops for Hunger, raising money and food for NutriPacks that helps people in need, students in need, families in need of food to feed their students. So they had a big game at Central Dauphin East last Friday night. And here's some of the action. You can see that these guys were a little challenged when it was getting off the floor, Anthony. They're not they're not too far off the floor.
No.
But this Hoops for Hunger, it drew a huge crowd.
Oh, that's a good crowd. There
was people on the other side too. It was at Central Dauphin East. And the thing that touched my heart, I mean, it's great. I mean, that all these people turned out, but take a look at this. These are some kids. Some of the Central Dauphin Rams boys basketball players showed up.
Oh, that's good.
You see the young lady, the black lady there in the front, and next to him with the glasses. That's
number 5, right?
Number 5, right. His name is, let me get it here. I don't know it off the top of Jackson Davenport. And Jackson was like the 6th man off the bench and did a great job all year, especially he's a great defender and throws in a few points every once in a while. Beside Jackson is Kahil Roberts, number 10.
Okay.
Now he's a guard forward. He's only a sophomore, but we showed you these guys who aren't elevating off the floor. Okay, Kahil can really elevate and he can dunk it and great defense. He's a sophomore.
17? Yeah.
Sophomore. So he's probably 16 maybe.
Yeah, I could jump when I was 16. Now I'm 57. I'm not jumping for anything.
But he was really, as a sophomore, a rock solid player for this team. And then beside him, I think is another player, but he was a bench player. But bench players are very important because they help these starters during practice. So they don't have enough players in the team. It's hard to practice. So kids like this, based on watching the award ceremonies, I think that coach and coaches really appreciate what these kids do that are on the bench, rarely play. And then the coaches were there, Anthony.
Oh, that's good.
In the tan, that's Seth Leonard, the head coach, and then his two assistants. Um, the man with the hat on backwards is Seth Leonard's brother. They work
Okay.
together as coaches. So that having these players and coaches show up really touched my heart that they would take the time, because Seth Leonard is not local. I don't think he has a home locally. I think he might be in the York area potentially. I'm not sure, but he's lived most of his life in the York area.
Okay.
So that's yeah. Unless you have something else on the Arizona Wildcats in the
No.
NCAA.
No, that's
We're going to move into new news, Anthony.
okay. What do
what
you
we're
got
gonna
for
do-
new news?
Well, there isn't a whole lot of news as far as public meetings. The only meeting this week is the Planning Commission for Lower Paxton Township meets. They will be looking at some zoning amendments that are coming through, and I'll research that and put it out on Linglestown Gazette. I don't know if it has to do with the Wenrick Street development or not, but so I have to do a little bit of work there. So that meeting's Wednesday. I'm tentatively planning on attending if I can,
What-
because I want to see what's going on.
Yeah. So is there a project that the township's working on putting a sidewalk from the township building down to 22?
There is. I'm not sure on the details, but it's a pedestrian type safety program, I
Okay.
believe.
All right.
They have another one that was on the books when Brad Gottschall was here on Union Deposit Road. If you get on Union Deposit Road off the highway, off 83,
Yeah.
and head towards CD East, there is that section. They have residential homes, and there was a person killed not too long ago.
Yeah.
Crossing the street there.
Yeah.
So Brad Gottschall had put together a project. I don't know if they're going to go through with it, but so that's what's happening. Yeah. So there, Prince Street, there's something going on. I just don't have all the details. And I did forget with Blue Line. I wanted to show a couple projects for Blue Line Pools and Outdoor Living, and I'm focusing on their patio projects tonight, Anthony.
That's a nice patio. He put up a picture today of a wall that they did.
Okay.
Stone wall.
Yeah. The other one, this one is, I like the lighting aspect.
I like that.
So it's not just pools. This is the kind of thing, if you have some room and you want to do something with it, or
Outdoor living.
yeah, these projects are pretty large, what we showed you tonight, but they'll work with you based on talking with Jason Myers. They'll work with you. I think no matter what size project, if you want something done.
I think he has a crew that will do small work.
Okay.
I think he has a crew now that they're just dedicated to going around knocking out small jobs.
Yeah, that makes sense. And what we want to wrap up with tonight is a quick look, Anthony, at what Linglestown Gazette and Linglestown Gazette Live, the podcast you're watching right now, what it is and what it isn't. Okay. Now, tonight's show, it's what I call a news magazine. It's not all straight up news. We try to have some fun, a little bit of laughter, despite talking about serious things. And it talks about, we get into sports and different things. So it's a news magazine. We put all kinds of things together on this show and try and make it entertaining, because it is very, very difficult to get people interested in anything that has to do with local government.
This is where it affects you most. It's all important, federal down to the local, but this is what really affects us right here.
Yeah, and so that's the one. And I've always been a radio guy, so I like doing this kind of stuff and performing a little bit and having you on, Anthony, and all that kind of, and having guests. It's a great thing to do for the community, and I like doing it. But then, as far as the regular Linglestown Gazette, that's more of a news source, and I'm trying to model it after to some degree, what the Paxton Herald brought to the table, because it's not just news. It's local events and different, we just talked about the Hoops for Hunger, all that kind of thing. It goes into that as well. So, before we move into, I want to give you an example. We haven't had, short of what Linglestown Gazette's trying to do, we haven't had local news, dedicated local news on Lower Paxton Township in our school district for about a dozen years. So we're going to take a look at the impact of that. But I also wanted to acknowledge one of our patron sponsors, Marriott's Power Washing. We had him on the show recently.
Yep.
So, and I'll just go through the other ones really quickly as well. We have Sharon Stump with her
Yep.
State Farm agency. That's Sharon in front of the office here in Linglestown with her crew. And should be one more here. Oh yeah, Panacea. We had Kelsey.
Oh, there's the car show.
Well, yeah, the car show. Well, you can talk about that real quickly, then we'll show Panacea.
April 25th, rain dates May 2nd, $10. Put your car in the show and have a good time. Food, bunch of nice cars there. Come out.
Yeah,
and
that's
see
coming up pretty well, about a month from now.
Yeah.
And then the other one of our partners, Anthony, is we had her on last week, Kelsey Ramsberger, Panacea Healing Arts Holistic Wellness Center. And I actually go to Kelsey for massages. So,
Wow.
You know, all these people I just showed you have either paid some money, so some donations in for the Operational Linglestown Gazette, or traded for something. So,
Riverview Clean Fill.
that's right. I don't have a thing for you.
That's okay. I'm not that important.
But now that you brought that up, I did go by the Clean Fill site, Riverview Clean Fill, over the weekend.
Oh, you did? What were you doing up there?
We went to a park. I'm trying to think. We went on. My wife and I went to Millersburg and walked on Barry's Mountain.
Yep.
Okay. Ned Smith Center.
Did you?
So that's why I was up there. But I because there's no leaves on the tree, you can look up and see the edge of the Clean Fill.
Yeah.
It looks like you have all kinds of cement lined up there that's viewed from the road.
Yeah, that's just stuff we have stacked. Those are some warehouse floors that came in on flatbed tractor trailers. So we just stacked it up. Eventually we'll have it broken down and then crushed into stone.
Yeah, and if someone, what's one reason or two reasons a resident here in Lower Paxton Township may want to go up to your site near Halifax?
Well, if you're looking to get rid of, we get a lot of residents from Lower Paxton that want to dump their yard waste, whether they have too much to put out for pen waste or, whatever it may be. I mean, Lower Paxton Township's actually one of my customers.
Okay.
I'm sure Pamela and Charles Stewart would be happy to hear that, but Lower Paxton Township has dumped at my site on a very small scale. Believe me, I'm not getting rich off of Lower Paxton Township. I think last year that was a few grand, but they'll dump blacktop or concrete or dirt. They don't have a facility for it. I'm a permitted site. And for example, I'm excited about this one. This morning, they started rolling in. They're building tiny homes down behind PennDOT. You know where the Veterans Outreach built that community behind the PennDOT building downtown.
There's another one going in, right?
There's another one going in. It's Tunnels to Towers. And they're building tiny homes down there. And York Excavating has been hauling. They're going to be hauling again tomorrow, concrete and rock and, big debris up. And it had to go to a permitted site, and that's us. I mean, we're the only one around. There's one other site, but it's kind of added away from where they wanted to go, and it's we have a lot more space. So, so that's pretty neat. They're building those tiny homes back here for Tunnels to Towers.
Yeah, it would be nice to get someone on from one of those two organizations to talk about how people could help out and what a great thing they're doing there.
Yeah, I'll find out if we can get somebody on there. I'll talk to somebody down there. But that's why you'd want to dump at our site. I mean, we take concrete, dirt, stone. Right now we have a bunch of pavers that we're selling, concrete pavers, and we have our crushed stone you can use.
So if I make a trip up there, do you have any coffee for me?
Yeah, I'll make you coffee.
All right. Well, getting back to what I was talking about, we in Lower Paxton Township, we haven't had a PennLive.com Patriot News reporter assigned specifically to our township and school district for about a dozen years.
Yeah.
Now, who's the guy that you referred me to that does some reporting on Lower Paxton? Madison?
Oh, from Penn Live. Yeah, he follows the township Swift Township and Lower Paxton Township News.
Yeah, Madison Montag, I think is his name.
Monte, yeah.
Yeah, so he occasionally will come up with stuff, but not very often. I mean,
No, he even said that.
because we used to have people dedicated. That was their beat, just the school district and Lower Paxton for years and years and years, and they got away from that.
Yeah.
So, two situations that we've had that having no reporting really hurt. And one was a little over a year ago, if you remember, Robin Lindsay got upset and resigned. Well,
Right.
that just didn't happen overnight. There were things going on periodically that a reporter who really knew what was going on might have picked up on that and actually, done some reporting, and maybe in the reporting, some of this stuff would have been resolved potentially. I'm not saying it's certainly not 100%, but that all went on behind the scenes. So when she resigned, it's like a big surprise. Well, again, that didn't happen overnight, and there was no reporter watching it. The other thing is, and this is a bigger issue, I think, overall, is how we got to a point where a developer was able to put in a proposal for the Wenrick Street development. Okay, and I'm not saying I have anything to do with development, but Anthony, that land was residential agriculture, most of the land that we were talking there. So with that zoning, you need to have large lots. You need to have a minimum 1 acre lot.
Okay.
So there's no way under that zoning, they were able to get 770 homes in it. So this is none of this stuff was reported by an independent newspaper looking at it and reporting, because this is a process they went through that took several years. I think it started something like in 2021, whenever the supervisors at the time decided they were going to change the zoning, make it more valuable for development, change the zoning. They came up with a new zoning district that allows what's on the table now to go on. Again, I'm not saying good or bad. I'm just saying that happened outside of the public view because it was not reported, and you would have to be really focusing on the township to pick that up.
I'm excited for that development. I'm happy about it.
Yeah,
it's going to be beautiful.
A lot of people probably are, but the thing I'm talking about
no, I know what you're saying.
The steps to get to the point where this has happened all happen without public view, not because the township did anything wrong. They have to put out public notices, hold public meetings, but there was no one reporting on it. So the larger group of people in the township, this was a big surprise whenever something comes in. So that's where that kind of thing is, when having a reporter will really, really help out.
Well, this is why what you're doing is a great thing for the community and for the Lower Paxton Township, and also the CD School District, which, like you've said in the past, reaches into Dauphin, West Hanover,
right,
Middle Paxton. So, but yeah, this is a great thing, and this is, people just need to tune in and listen and watch your broadcast through YouTube, some of the older shows, if they can't watch live, and stay up to date on what's happening here in this community, and get involved and show up at the meetings.
Right, and they eventually will offer a patron membership and with some benefits and all that. We just haven't gotten there. We'll probably be on other platforms, other than just Facebook. Have a web page. We're doing.
Yeah, I want to make some money. I want to make some money.
Hey, tomorrow, give me your salary proposal.
Yeah.
But the last point I want to make is, right at this point, trying to be the publisher and also report on Lower Paxton Township. I mean, at this point, I'm pretty much tapped out in terms of what
you need volunteers. You need some people that want to volunteer in West Hanover or for the school district news. Or
we're looking to move. The next move would be West Hanover, but the only way that's going to happen is we find some what I'm calling community watchdogs, and I'm going to be doing some things to try and educate people about what that involves. And it doesn't involve writing stories. It just means basically watching, providing some notes. There'll be an online form you could fill out. And after you do I would say 2 or 3, I'm not sure, maybe I'll get some help from you and others, Anthony, we'll figure it out. Once you do submit some things a couple times at least, maybe more, we'll see. Then you'll be an official Lower Linglestown Gazette community watchdog, and that you'll be part of a growing group of people, civic-minded people who want to help their township out. We'll try and make it worthwhile with a press badge, maybe a sports shirt, gatherings from time to time, make it something that's more than just being a flat out volunteer. But so we're going to be working on that, and to let people know that I'm serious about this. Again, I'm not being paid, so my wife's very disappointed about that. But but the other part, I have a consultant that I'm working with to try and help me to help you better, basically. So that's where we're at.
Yeah, and we get goofy sometimes and try to joke around and keep it light. And sometimes people don't understand my sense of humor, but they're gonna have to get over it. I am how I am.
But take a chill pill.
Yeah, I mean, just relax. I like to have a good time, but when it's something important and I'm passionate about it, I'm gonna speak about it till it's resolved. And
Yeah, and I'm watching what you say, because I don't want to get in trouble either.
no, I know, and I don't. I
So
would never do anything like that. And listen, I'm not putting anything that's not true out there. I mean, this is all, and some people get offended because maybe it's they think it's a Democrat or Republican issue, and it's not. Well, I don't know how many times we have to say that, because I don't care who you are. If you're a supervisor and you're not following the rules, but
well,
the rest of us have to. I mean, I don't care what party you're with.
sure.
There's plenty of Republicans that have come through Lower Paxton Township that I wasn't on board with. Believe me.
Yeah, and well, the other thing is I'm not bothered by the pushback, because I know
Oh,
Linglestown
it's
Gazette
three
is,
people.
well, what 3 or 300? I don't care, because we're
Yeah.
trying to fill a gap in the information that people know about their local government. And like you said earlier, local government has the most impact
Yes.
than any level of government. I mean, local and state far exceed impacts than federal government.
Don't forget that Dauphin County, under the leadership of Justin Douglas,
Yeah,
since he's been on the board, your taxes in Dauphin County have gone up nearly 30%. Don't forget that.
right. And
That's very important to remember.
we're going to be trying to keep track of the development happening in our district that's going to eventually cause building projects and school property taxes to go up to some degree. So
That Colonial Park Mall really has to get done over there.
absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's a
the last
big,
thing you want is a mall that's deteriorating and kids get in there and mess around. That's happened other places in the state. We want to see this thing turned around. So
yeah, and
if
I'm not saying the township should financially get involved with it. I'm just saying that somebody needs to.
well, there are tools, Anthony, that the local townships, can have an impact on these projects and make it a little bit easier for someone to come in there and do something. All you have to look at Upper Allen in the Capital City Mall, that whole plaza on the other side from the mall. That's all helped along by the township.
They should really get Jeff Clare involved in this. I don't know
He's
why.
one they could look at for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that's sort of
Any no comments? Nobody's commenting tonight?
comments. There might be one more. Oh, we do have. You got a compliment. McCormick said, "Nice job, Anthony."
Oh,
He said,
Alan's a good guy.
You can't teach tall. I think he's talking about the athletes as far as not getting off the floor.
Oh, well, Alan's 6 foot whatever, and I'm like a midget next to him also. So
Now, Kirby Lentz weighed in. Bill, when did the gym go by Subway across from Copper Pub? Is there okay, there's a gym. There's a gym in the plaza there.
Yeah, I saw that the other morning when I was heading down the road. There's a gym that opened in there.
Thanks for telling me, Kirby, because I saw that last week at the Lions Club meeting and was curious about that. I'm going to make.
There's another gym going in at the old Joanne Fabrics. Did you know that?
I heard that. Yeah.
24-hour membership type gym going in. Listen, it's better than a smoke shop, right?
Well, yeah, and I'm sure you're going to be the first one to get a membership at that gym.
Yeah, why not? I
mean, I did learn that as we age, being active, moving around, walking on uneven surfaces, our body's like that and keeps us young.
So when I got the heart problem,
Right.
I got a bad heart, and it's
Right.
bad on the bottom now, we found out too. But anyway, I found out why I'm not so steady on my feet is when my blood pressure and the heart disease was so bad that I get these little white spots on my brain that messes up my balance. So I can't go on a treadmill. I'll be like a freaking.
Yeah. You need
But I do
special.
do a lot of walking up at my site.
Well,
I
that's
like
good.
walking around up there.
That's not like that's uneven terrain. So you're getting a good workout up there, Anthony. Keep
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, keep telling me that.
All right. Hey, that wraps it up, folks. We'll see you next week. We'll come
That's
out
it.
with yeah, that's it
Did
for
you?
the week, man.
That's it. Hey, one last thing. Did you
Sure.
see that sauce and sausage and meatballs that
I
I
saw
had
it. Very
cooking
colorful.
yesterday?
Very
Huh?
colorful. Well, tell the folks where you
Oh,
got it.
wait a minute. Now the boss just told me she made a comment.
Okay, let's see. It's for protection of the mother. Okay, she's talking about the ducks. It's for the protection of the mother and the babies. They're more girls camouflaged. So the mothers are camouflaged to protect the babies. That's what Teresa's saying.
So the female ducks are ugly to protect their kids.
Well, they're
That's what
not
you're
as
trying to say?
colorful as the males.
Okay. All right. All right.
Well,
But
yeah,
that's true.
I think you qualify to be a duck because you're very colorful, Anthony.
Yeah, I'm
a male
colorful, all
duck.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by, everyone. We'll see you next week.
See ya.